Part 1, The Ghost from the Old Chest ****. Tonight, the wind blows with a chilling edge. From far away, the faint barking of dogs echoes through the night, like an omen of something sinister approaching. Dear listener, dim your lights, light an incense stick if you have one, or simply sit still, and follow me back to the terrifying story of Hai Sang and Ba Jiao's family, a story that began with a small wooden chest unearthed decades ago. It was over 20 years ago, on the land behind Hai Sang's family home. One day, while digging the soil to make a garden, the workers struck something hard beneath the earth. At first, everyone thought it was a tree root, or maybe a stone. But no, what surfaced was a small wooden chest. This chest was not the kind used for adults, it was just the right size to hold the body of a child. At that time, Hai Sang himself was only a boy of 10, too young to understand. The grown-ups, however, were terrified. No one dared open it. Instead, they covered it back with soil, as if nothing had happened. From that day on, strange occurrences began to haunt the household, odd noises from the garden, fleeting shadows that vanished as soon as you turned your head, and endless nights of uneasy dreams. Yet the family brushed it off, comforting themselves that it was only heavy energy, and invited shamans to perform rituals and offerings. The ceremonies were done half-heartedly, never resolving anything. Time passed swiftly. 20 years later, the youngest daughter, Kim, had just turned 20 when the horror returned. At first, it was only nightmares. Every night she dreamed of a stranger outside her window, whispering her name. Then the window itself would rattle violently, as if unseen hands were trying to wrench it open. Until one night, the family awoke to discover Kim had vanished. For days, the family searched desperately, reporting to the police, asking neighbors, combing every corner. But there was no trace. Rumors spread quickly through the village, ***, the spirits took her. ***, that old chest has awakened. *** whispers turned into fear, and the air around the house grew heavier each day. As if that wasn't enough, tragedy struck again. One afternoon, Hai Sang's mother, Madame Hai, slipped while walking inside the house. It sounded like a simple accident. But when they rushed to her side, they found her neck snapped clean, broken in one swift motion. She was dead instantly. A death no one could explain. Her passing threw the household into chaos. Yet grief soon turned into dread, for Kim was still missing. The villagers murmured, ***, if she is not found within 3 days, she will surely perish. ***. In desperation, Hai Sang and Ba Jiao sought out Master Bei, a renowned exorcist and sorcerer known across the region for his power to banish spirits and break curses. They told him everything. Master Bei's eyes glimmered as he listened, his face grave. "This land has been cursed for a long time," he said. "Not just the house, but the yard, the ancestral shrine, they're all trapped in a wicked spell. That body in the chest, it is no ordinary corpse. Your mother's broken neck, your sister's disappearance, this is the curse erupting. If nothing is done, your whole bloodline will suffer." Hai Sang shivered. With no other choice, the brothers pleaded with Master Bei to return with them to Long'an, to save their sister and release their family from this vengeful force. When Master Bei finally arrived at the house, the sight was chilling. The family sat in sorrow. Neighbors crowded outside, whispering nervously. Some swore it was the work of a restless spirit, others muttered about karma. Inside the main hall, Madame Hai's body still lay untouched, not yet buried, not even placed in a coffin. The family had refused to proceed until Kim was found. The air was thick with the stench of death. A coldness seeped up from the floorboards, sinking into the skin. Master Bei entered, his gaze sweeping across the room before resting on the deceased woman's portrait. He shook his head slowly. "Her body must be placed in a coffin, with proper rites," he said. "But the funeral cannot yet be performed. For now, she must remain. The most urgent task is to find the girl. If 3 days pass, she will surely die." The family listened, stricken with dread. That very night, Master Bei began his ritual. From his bag, he drew out sheets of yellow paper, folding them carefully into the shape of a small bird with wings. As he murmured incantations under his breath, he blew gently on it. To everyone's astonishment, the paper bird shuddered, then flapped its wings with a lifelike beat, as if some hidden force had entered it. The bird circled once in the air, then suddenly darted out toward the back door. Gasps erupted. A lifeless paper bird, flying on its own? But Master Bay raised a hand for silence and followed it with unwavering steps. The bird led them out to the backyard, the very place where, years ago, the wooden chest had been unearthed. The atmosphere grew heavy. Everyone felt it, that unsettling sensation, as though unseen eyes were watching from the darkness. Part 2, The Ritual of Soul Summoning and Ominous Signs ****. The paper bird trembled, its wings beating weakly as it circled a few times in the wind, then shot straight toward the back of the house. Its fluttering sounded sharp and insect-like, echoing through the heavy night. Everyone followed in silence, footsteps soft, as though they feared shattering the suffocating air around them. At the corner of the garden, Master Bay stopped. His eyes scanned the ground, and he nodded slowly. Yes, this is the spot. The very place where that chest was unearthed years ago. The energy here is thick, like a stone pressing down. But it's not just the chest. This soil hides something more. The group shuddered. Hai Sang whispered nervously. Master, do you mean there are other spirits here? Master Bay gave no reply. From his robe, he pulled out a yellow talisman covered with red incantations. Then he said firmly, every land has its guardian spirit. Your family used to trade, so surely you had a shrine for Ong Dia, the earth deity. Prepare an offering, a tray of fruit, incense. Only then can we ask for guidance. The family scrambled to prepare the altar. The incense smoke curled into the night, flickering in the restless wind, making everyone's skin crawl. Master Bay stood solemnly before the offering, talisman in hand. He chanted, bowed deeply, then pressed the talisman onto the wall. Suddenly, from within the wall, a shadow emerged. A human-like figure, blurred and ghostly, raised its hand to its forehead, as if in salute. No one dared breathe. It was no reflection, no trick of the eyes. It moved. Master Bay closed his eyes, drawing symbols in the air with cinnabar ink, then pressed a mark upon the shadow's forehead. Next, he burned a slip of paper with Kim's name written on it, mixing the ashes into a basin of water. He stirred the water, then flicked droplets into the eyes of a buffalo tethered nearby. The beast, usually docile, suddenly shuddered. Its eyes turned blood red. It inhaled sharply, then rammed its head furiously against the wooden posts of the shed. Bang! 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 Asterisk. The blows thundered, shaking the whole structure. Everyone recoiled in terror, certain the shed would collapse. Yet the old, brittle posts did not break. Sweat dripped from trembling foreheads. This was no ordinary happening. From his sleeve, Master Bay drew out a small bronze mirror. He angled it toward the shed, chanting low. The mirror reflected two dark holes forming in the wall, as if something unseen had bored through. Cold wind whistled through them with an eerie shriek. Master Bay pressed two talismans against the holes and declared, "Here. Two guardian demons lurk within this shed. The girl is imprisoned inside, not dead, but her soul has been drained. Her body remains like a withered shell. If we do not act soon, it will be as if she truly died." The family burst into sobs. But Master Bay's voice cut sharply through the cries. "No tears. Weeping only feeds the demons. Bring her out, now." He and several men charged into the shed. In the dim glow, they found Kim huddled in a corner, skin pale as wax, her breath shallow, barely clinging to life. They carried her into the main hall, laying her on the bed. Villagers gathered thick outside, murmuring, whispering in dread. "Enough!" Master Bay roared, his voice ringing like a bell. "This is no spectacle. The girl's soul has been bound. To save her, we must summon it back." He took out an ancient coin threaded with red string. One end he tied to his own wrist, the coin he placed in Kim's mouth. Turning to his disciple, Master Sao, he warned. Sit behind me and watch this incense stick. When it nears its end, ring the bell to call me back. If not, I will be trapped between worlds, neither in heaven nor in hell. The words drained the color from everyone's faces. Master Bei crossed his legs before Kim and began chanting. His breaths deepened, his body sinking into another realm. Silence fell. Only the shrill wind and the cries of night insects broke the stillness. The family huddled, eyes fixed on the burning incense. Kim stirred faintly. Her eyelids fluttered, lips quivering as though trying to speak. Then, in a faint, broken voice, she whispered, Uncle. I'm so scared. There's a man, he came, he said he loved me, he dragged me away. The entire household froze. Within the unseen realm, Master Bei saw Kim imprisoned in a vast darkness. The stench of rot, the chill of the grave. And then, a figure appeared, a blurred, grinning face, with two small horns protruding from its head. It hissed. This girl belongs to me. Whoever dares interfere, will die. Master Bei clenched his fists, eyes blazing. He knew then, this was no wandering spirit, but a demon born of sorcery. Someone had conjured it to destroy the family. Meanwhile, outside, Kim's frail voice continued. It broke the window bars. Dragged me into the shed. It said, if I became its bride, my family would be spared. If not, everyone would die. Gasps spread through the villagers. One woman cried out. Oh God! Years ago, a girl hanged herself on that very field. It must be her spirit. Others whispered. Not just one. I heard many bodies were buried there. The air grew suffocating with dread. At that moment, the incense stick burned low. Master Sao's hand shook as he grasped the bell, torn between duty and fear. Inside, Master Bei's body trembled, sweat pouring. In the other world, the horned demon lunged, hurling him aside. But Master Bei pulled a talisman, shouting, Abomination! Begone! His voice thundered, shattering the darkness. Part 3, The Breath of Death Inside the Ancestral Hall. The air inside the ancestral hall that night was thick and heavy, as though a storm was about to break. The oil lamp flickered weakly, casting long shadows across the wooden walls. The silhouettes trembled and wavered, looking like hundreds of lurking phantoms hiding in every corner. Master Bei spread out an old mat in the middle of the hall, then pulled from his cloth bag a string of black prayer beads and a small flask of rice wine. He warned sternly. From this moment, no matter what happens, no matter what sound you hear, you must not scream. Sit still. Keep silent. If you panic, you lose your life. Faces turned pale instantly. Only Hai Sang clenched his fists tightly, trying to suppress his trembling. His mind was still haunted by the vision of the paper bird diving into the coffin and crumbling to ash. He knew this night was not just about finding his sister. It was a life-or-death confrontation with something sealed away for decades. Master Bei poured the rice wine in a circle on the mat, chanting. Strangely, every drop of wine sizzled, releasing white smoke like acid on fire. The ring of smoke spread a sickening odor, like rotting flesh left too long in the heat. Then he lit 3 red incense sticks. One stood at the center of the mat, the other 2 opposite each other. With each incantation, the incense quivered violently, scattering ash, yet the flames refused to die. The atmosphere grew heavier, suffocating. Suddenly, from the corner of the hall came the sound of weeping, soft, pitiful sobs. It was the cry of a child, faint and fragile, who, echoing through the shadows, chilling every soul to the bone. Everyone froze, eyes darting around. But in the dim light, only family members were kneeling there. Master Bei's voice cut through the dread. It's here. The child from the coffin, its spirit has not passed on. Beware. This is just its lure. The crying ceased. Then a violent gust of wind blasted through, nearly snuffing out the lamp. Bare feet slapped against the wooden floor, running, circling, first at the doorway, then behind their backs. But when they looked, there was nothing. Suddenly, the back door slammed open. A freezing draft rushed in, igniting the incense into roaring flames. Through the crimson smoke, a small figure stood at the threshold. It was Kim, the missing youngest daughter. Her eyes were wide, whites bulging, with black pupils floating unnaturally in the center. Her hair hung in wild strands, clothes torn and caked with mud. She just stood there, unmoving, smiling, a twisted, grotesque smile that no longer belonged to a human face. Ba Jiao cried out. "Kim! My daughter! Come back to us!" But just as he stepped forward, Master Bei barked. "Stay back! That is no longer her. It's a corpse possessed." Before the words faded, Kim's body jerked violently, then lunged into the hall with terrifying speed. No one had time to react. Master Bei flicked a golden talisman. It burst into flames midair, striking Kim's shoulder. She staggered, shrieking with a scream so inhuman it made the rafters tremble, rasping, guttural, like a beast torn from hell. Her skin rippled grotesquely. 2 dark red streaks appeared on her forehead, lengthening, hardening, until a pair of blood-drenched horns jutted upward. Everyone's hearts stopped. The spirit inside her body was no longer a lost soul, it was the 2-horned demon whispered of for generations. Hai Seng's hand gripped the butcher's knife until his knuckles turned white, but his body refused to move, frozen in terror. The demon held and rushed the wine circle. Each time its limbs touched the white smoke, its flesh sizzled as it burned, forcing it back, writhing in agony. It clawed at the floorboards, skeletal arms pounding, leaving trails of black blood. Master Bei shouted. "Quick! Bring me the iron nail and hammer!" Hai Seng snapped out of his trance and fetched them. Master Bei took the long iron nail, its head black as coal, wrapped it with a red talisman, then drove it down hard into the mat. A deafening clang erupted. A surge of unseen force split the air. The demon shrieked, eyes rolling white, blood streaming from its nose and mouth. It hurled itself forward but was flung across the hall by an invisible barrier. Then, on the wooden wall, blood seeped out in spreading stains, shaping itself into the outline of a coffin with 2 sharp horns piercing upward. Chaos erupted. Relatives clutched each other, sobbing but stifling their cries, fearing the master's warning. Master Bei's face was drenched in sweat. His incantations rolled like thunder, each word shaking the hall. The demon writhed, shifting voices, laughing madly, then sobbing like a child, then speaking in Kim's tone, then in the gravelly voice of an old man, then shrill like a woman's wail. It hissed. "You cannot save her. Your whole bloodline will die with me." In that moment, the central incense suddenly died out. The fiery circle faltered, white smoke dissipating. Master Bei's expression hardened. He roared. "Someone has broken the ward. Check outside, now." Hai Seng bolted out, only to find the ancestral graves torn apart, soil and bones scattered. Someone, or something, had desecrated the tombs, severing the ancestral veins of power, shattering the protection. Panicked, he ran back to report. But just then, from the outer darkness, a figure entered the hall. A woman, hair long and tangled, face pale as chalk, eyes hollow and sunken. In her arms, she carried a small wooden coffin. Everyone froze in horror. That coffin, it was the very one buried decades ago. Part 4, The Midnight Confrontation and the Buried Secret ****. The air inside the house grew suffocatingly thick, as if someone had draped a pitch-black veil over everything. The oil lamp flickered, its sickly yellow glow casting distorted shadows across everyone's faces. All eyes were fixed on every movement of Master Bei. He sat cross-legged in the center of the main hall. Beside him lay a brass tray arranged with ritual objects, golden talismans, a bronze bell, a bowl of ash water, burning incense, and a small dagger. His voice was low and gravelly, each word weighted with dread. ***, tonight is the deciding moment. If I fail to hold it back, your youngest sister, will never return. Asterisk. Hai Sang's face went pale. He collapsed to his knees, sobbing. Asterisk master, please save her. She's still so young, she hasn't lived her life yet, asterisk. Master Bei said nothing, only raised a hand for silence. Closing his eyes, he began chanting. The bronze bell chimed king, kung, in steady rhythm. Each toll made the oil flame flare wildly, the shadows on the woven walls dancing like frenzied spirits. Suddenly, a cold gust swept in, rattling the shutters. Banana leaves outside the window thrashed violently. Incense sticks bent and twisted, their flames turning a ghastly green. From behind the bamboo walls came the sound of claws scraping, like dozens of talons tearing into the very frame of the house. Terrified, Ba Jiao tried to bolt, but Master Cao barked. Asterisk sit down. Do not step outside the circle, unless you wish to die on the spot. Asterisk. The family huddled together, trembling. Master Bei opened his eyes, staring into the darkness. Lifting the dagger, he slit his palm, letting blood drip into the bowl of ash water. With his bloodied finger, he drew strange symbols on the floor. Within moments, they ignited, burning crimson as though flames had risen straight from hell. A faint weeping filled the night. Asterisk brother Hai, save me. I'm so cold, asterisk. Hai Sang burst into tears, leaping up, but Master Bei blocked him. Asterisk no. That may not be your sister. It could be nothing but a phantom crafted by the vengeful spirit. Asterisk. The voice grew clearer, more heart-wrenching, tearing at the soul. And then, from the wall, a massive black shadow peeled itself free, standing tall enough to brush the roof. Two long, curved horns. Eyes glowing scarlet. The stench of rot and blood filled the air, making everyone retch. It's here, whispered Master Bei. Asterisk, the demon from the coffin. Asterisk. He flicked his hand, the coin tied with red string on the tray shot upward, spinning, before pointing directly at the horned shadow. The creature let out a bone-shaking roar, rattling the pillars of the house until they creaked as if ready to snap. Master Bei tightened the ritual circle, thrusting the dagger forward. Blood from his palm dripped onto the ground, feeding the fiery sigil. The demon lunged, but as it struck the burning barrier, it was hurled back, howling in pain. Hashtag Part 5, Unearthing the Demon's Coffin, blood spilled in the night. The group trudged toward the patch of land behind the garden. Torchlight flickered, casting restless shadows across tense faces. Hai Sang walked in front, hands trembling as he gripped the shovel, his eyes fixed on the very spot he remembered, the place where, years ago, they had unearthed the strange coffin. That night, the ground felt hard as stone, refusing to give way no matter how many times the shovel struck. Master Bei took out a talisman, set it aflame, and planted the ashes into the center of the soil. Instantly, the earth softened, turning into a foul, stinking sludge. Begin. Master Bei commanded. The young men dug furiously. The clang of shovels rang sharp in the midnight air. With every strike into the soil, a cold gust rushed upward, carrying with it tortured screams echoing from the bowels of the earth. Old Zhao's face drained of all color, he clasped his hands together, muttering frantic prayers. Half a meter deep, a dull thunk broke the rhythm. Everyone froze. Torchlight swept across the pit, revealing a rotten plank of black wood. It's here, Master Bei rasped. They clawed away the soil, and soon, the entire coffin lay exposed. It was no ordinary coffin. Strange symbols were carved into its surface, and two blackened horns jutted from either side, bristling with jagged spikes. The moment it was unearthed, the world seemed to convulse. Wind howled, the moon vanished behind storm clouds, and the air turned deathly cold. Then, bang, the lid burst open. A torrent of pitch-black smoke shot skyward, twisting into the monstrous form of a demon. Its eyes blazed crimson, its mouth a jagged maw of fangs, and its roar shook the ground beneath their feet. At the same moment, the youngest sister appeared, her body bound by chains of black iron that whipped from inside the coffin, dragging her back. She screamed in anguish. "Brother! Save me!" Hai Sang held, ready to rush forward, but Master Cao seized his shoulder. "Do you want both of you to die? Leave it to Master Bei." Master Bei dropped to the ground, drawing a circle of blood into the soil, chanting furiously. From his satchel, he produced a consecrated peachwood sword and hurled it straight at the demon. Crack! The blade pierced its chest, erupting in a blaze of fire. The demon shrieked in agony, but it did not fall. Instead, it yanked the chains tighter, pulling the girl toward the coffin. She wept, hands reaching desperately toward her brother. Unable to endure any longer, Hai Sang hurled himself forward, clutching her with all his strength. But the instant he touched her, his body convulsed violently, eyes rolling back. "No!" Master Bei roared, casting his final talisman. The fiery seal shot like an arrow into the coffin itself. A thunderous explosion split the night. The coffin ignited in searing green flames, soaring high into the sky. The demon's scream shattered the air as its body dissolved, dissipating into black smoke before vanishing in a final, despairing roar. The chains binding the girl snapped apart. She collapsed into Hai Sang's arms, pale and trembling, yet her eyes were finally clear. I'm so cold, brother," she whispered faintly. Hai Sang clutched her tight, tears streaming, weeping in a torrent of relief and terror combined. The fire dwindled, leaving nothing but a mound of charred ash and the stench of burnt evil lingering in the garden. Master Bei staggered to his feet, leaning on his staff, his voice weary yet stern. "The coffin has been destroyed. But this family must remain silent. Never speak of what happened tonight. Should anyone ever dig again, it will return. And when it does, no one will be able to save you." The group stood in petrified silence, the wind whispering through the bamboo grove. Deep down, they all knew, this vow must be carried to their graves. New Moon Epilogue *. From that night onward, Hai Sang's household was freed from the curse. Yet villagers whispered still, on stormy nights, when passing by that forsaken garden, some claimed to hear faint sobs calling for brother, and the acrid scent of scorched ash never truly faded,